Hey, it's Kathleen Woodhouse, and I believe women in business should stop doing so much on their own and get a community of support. So, I'm going to give you 10 ways that you can build a community if you're new to business or if you've been in business but just feel unsupported. So, I recently did a big, bold business live coaching event, and one of the audience members asked this question of how to build a community of support. So, one of the things that you can do is to start to build your network. You can do this through going to networking meetings. They're live and they're virtual. When I started in business, I went to many live ones, in person, and started to meet people and build those connections. And it's a great way to get support. It's not about just selling to somebody. It's definitely not actually even about selling to somebody. It's really about, building a relationship. And so that's the first thing you want to do is start building relationships. Now, eventually some of those can turn into sales, but you really want to go to a networking event, really to introduce yourself, but to also get to know who's out there and what they have to offer as well. So there are so many different people out there and so many different businesses that definitely people can help you. And you can use your network to help you to grow your business. You can really connect with these people, and you can start to work together as well. And, like I said, they have different services. And so, people are going to have different strengths and skills. And so that can help you to build your network. So knowing that you're not alone, going out there and meeting other people who are doing the same thing as you have similar interests, you're about business, they can share resources, you can share resources with them. And as I mentioned, it's not just in person, but especially now virtual. I'm part of a network where I do networking with people from all over the United States as well as other countries. So this is a great way now in this more virtual world to actually meet and build relationships in a wider range. Now, if your product or service is just local and you're thinking, oh, I should just go to, in-person events or virtual events that are just for my area. Again, remember that networking is not just about, a one-on-one sale. It's about the relationships and the support as well. So really consider, a variety of networking events. Another thing that I found when I was networking was I would go to a lot of women's groups. When I first started, I was like, oh, this has to be an easy way. It was a networking group that was at a library. It was a women's group. I said, this can't be too intimidating, because at first I remember the feeling of, hearing networking and thinking it was something scary, and it really wasn't. Networking is really, making friends, building relationships. You've been doing it since kindergarten, so don't be afraid. You can go and meet some people. But what I found was, as I was working with, these women's groups, that I was really helping a lot of them, which is great, but I also needed to find groups where people could help me and build me up. So you want to think about that balance too, where, you're able to bring people up, but then, you have that hand where people can share their experience. I started going to groups that had business owners who had been in business, 15, 20 years, very successful business owners who'd, made millions of dollars, things like that. And so, and a variety of industries too. And so I could learn a lot from them. So, really consider a variety when you're doing that. Okay, number 2 is the one-on-ones. Now, this is in relation to the networking, but it's really a separate step. So a lot of people go and they network, and then that's it. They think, oh, I'm giving out my information, and oh, I just connected with all these people. But those people aren't going to remember you unless you reach out and connect with them and really start to get to know them and build that relationship. So one-on-ones are really important. Take the time to do this, especially if you're, building your business organically and you're not doing paid sales and traffic. You want to really, really take the time to follow up. Now, you don't have to follow up with every single person in the meeting. You want to pick a few. Again, think about the people that could help you and the people that you could help as well. People that have different skills and a variety, and then people you just click with too, right? Just like I said, you're making friends. So really trust your, instinct and follow up with people. And I found that a lot of people didn't follow up with me. I was the one that was reaching out and following up with them. So, don't wait around and think that people are going to contact you. And, a lot of people, especially if it's, a new startup and, a networking group that attracts a lot of newer business, which it probably is because people who are established in business aren't meeting, as many new clients. So you want to be really making sure that you take the time, follow up, and build those relationships. And when you do get on these one-on-one meetings, make sure that you're not selling to the person. You're really getting to know them. Listen to them. Don't do a sales pitch. You're just getting to know them, getting to know, their life. It can be, something personal. It's not all business. Share some of the things you're going through too, and they'll share those things with you. You can share resources. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's another networking meeting that they'll tell you about. And so you can share your resources, they'll share theirs, and you start to build that relationship. See how you can work together, see how you can support each other. So that's another great way. The third thing I want to share is coworking. Now, this is something that has really, really helped me. I was working full time in an office where I had coworkers for a long time. I was doing career coaching, but for somebody else, and I wasn't working from home as I am now. So working from home, and I found I really missed that support, the socialization. So even though I've always been independent and I had my business, that I started 10 years ago, I found like, wow, I'm missing a lot. So having co-working, virtual co-working, it could be in-person co-working too, but I do virtual co-working, has really helped me. And so I have a group that I go to that and somebody else runs, and there's a small group of us. We meet every week for a few hours and, just share like what we're going to work on. And then we work on it. And then at the end, just share like maybe how it went. And it's great. Sometimes we take a break in between. Sometimes, somebody will ask a question and we can help each other in that way. So it's been a great thing. I also do a lot of other individual co-working. So I've reached out to some other business owners and said, hey, this is really working for me. Do you want to try it? And, there's some people that I meet with frequently, and we do co-working, and they'll just text and say, hey, do you want to get on, Zoom? And we'll connect, and we each work our own business. But then, it kind of helps me to focus and them to focus as well. You have that accountability in a sense if that's what you want, or just, to kind of not feel alone and that, somebody else is working, right? Like, especially if you're home alone. So that's been really helpful for me. And I think that you'll enjoy that as well. The fourth thing is an accountability partner. So there's definitely different ways that you can do this. And some people call coaches, accountability, and that is one way. But that's another step I'm going to, talk about. But accountability partner in terms of, for me, somebody that is along the same lines. So I have an accountability partner that we meet with frequently. We text as well in between our meetings, and share things and, say, hey, this is what I'm putting out, and, this is going well, or I have this event coming up, and we can really support each other in that way. And we talk about things that we have questions about. And so for me, my accountability partner is somebody that is in the same program that I'm in, the same coaching program. So we have the same trainings that we're following, and it helps to kind of talk out any questions that we may have. She is also a coach and coaches women, and so we have very similarities there. We're different types of coaches, have different services that we offer, but she's very in line. She has experience the same as I do. We're not starting up, from scratch. We've both been successful in our work. And so it's just a great partnership. And so that accountability is fun. And you can, you have to find something that works for you and how you like accountability. I don't like someone checking on me. That's not the kind of accountability that works for me. What does work for me is being able to share. So somebody that doesn't mind me sharing my successes. I tried this, I did that, something new. That's what works for me, is kind of just being able to celebrate and to not feel like I'm bragging to somebody, or, somebody who's not in business maybe doesn't care about it, so this is somebody that is okay and comfortable with me sharing, and I love to hear their successes too. And so, just finding the right style of accountability partner and the right person that you click with. Okay. Number 5 is coaching. And now I mentioned having a coach, and that's another type of accountability. So I definitely want you to get a coach. and somebody that has done what you want to do. So make sure, there's tons of coaches out there, and I'm sure you'll meet them when you're going to those networking meetings, but just make sure that you're choosing a coach that has experience, that they've actually been successful in something that you're trying to do. Really learn about the type of coach that they are. There's so many differences. So, that's really important, is to talk with them, get to know them in the one-on-one. Then maybe you do, maybe they have a free follow-up or some, free downloads or some free coaching, that they offer, and make sure that they're the right fit for you, and that you like their personality, you like how they teach, you like what they have actually done, what they stand for, those kinds of things. So that's really important, not just to pick anybody. I don't do like tons and tons of programs. I believe in coaching, but I like to look at what are the right programs for me. Where am I trying to go? What am I missing? And then those are the programs that I fill in, with that. And so, because there's so much in a program, that I find, I can't do everything. And so I just want to focus and be really specific. I know my goals, what I'm after, what my intention is, and then I pick a program that works, for me, what I'm trying to do. In addition to the coaching, another thing would be number 6 is the actual coaching community. So if you are in a program that has a Facebook group, a LinkedIn group, like that's what I offer. I like LinkedIn. So, there's the community for each of my programs where members can continue to talk and have support in addition to the training that comes with the coaching. And so that's something that you can do as well to get support, is to be involved in that. There's, all different kinds within each program. So learn, again, what's best for you. But you can get involved as much or as little as you want. You can post things, you can post your successes, you could share, resources, you can ask questions and things like that. And so it's really good to get support in that way as well. Again, with members of your community that are in the similar training. So you have your very individual one-on-one, you have the big community, and then you have your coach as well. And then in between that is your mastermind group. So this is something that is a small group of people that meet regularly. Now, I know some of the big coaching programs have hundreds of members and they say mastermind. I personally am a part of a mastermind group that has about 7 people in it, and we meet each week and discuss specific principles, financial principles, things like that. And we're building that trust of advisors. And that's really helpful. That's one of the biggest things that has helped me. It was kind of the missing piece, because you get all this training and knowledge, and then it kind of puts it together, because knowing how to run a business and actually running a business are 2 different things, which I'm sure you're learning. So there's the part like where sometimes you don't know what to do, and then sometimes you know what to do, and then you don't know how to do it. You haven't actually implemented it. So these things are really important to kind of combine everything so that you get all the support that you need. Number 8 is friends. So this one is really important to remember, because as you're changing and growing, right? Like, you want to change and grow, you want to develop, you want to come up with something new in your life, right? You're creating something, you're creating this business. And so you're going to change. And so with that sometimes comes changes in friendships. This is something that's been really hard for me. I love my friends. I love people in general. And so I want to carry everybody with me all the time throughout my life. And it doesn't always work that way. And so, even when I was young, right, like there was classes, and the next year those students were not in my class, those friends were gone, and I didn't see them. And, I would always be like, oh, where's so-and-so? And, I love people and I love that. And so letting go of people, of friendships, is going to be part of the right support. So think about your friendships currently, and if they're the right kind of people that you want in your life as you're creating this vision. And then sometimes you have to let go of people. It doesn't mean you have to, be mean or, anything. You just can start to adjust, the time that you spend with them, the way that you're, interacting with them, things like that. And so think about who's around you. You've probably heard that you become most like the top 10 people that you spend time with. And so think about those 10 people in your life. Who do you spend the most time with? And are they the people that, will help you to become who you want to be in this vision and with your goals? So having friends that you can, call and text and talk to, that aren't going to say, just give up if the business isn't working, things like that, because there's going to be challenges and struggles. And, there's so much more than just learning how to have a business. You have to think about your mindset and how you're actually going to implement all of these things. And so you really want to have friends that are encouraging you, that can listen to you, and maybe they don't understand all of the business side of things. And that's why you have all these other, communities and people who have these interests, but they can support you in the other areas of your life too, right? And so maybe they take you out and you have some fun, or, whatever it may be, you watch movies together, whatever it is, to help you, balance the different areas of your life. So that's really important. Number 9 is online groups. So there's lots of Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, different ways that you can get connected. And this doesn't have to be just business. This could be other areas. Maybe you need to learn more about technology for your business. And so join a group that talks about technology, or, whatever it may be, but really use the online groups that you can get involved in. It can be in person too, of course. And number 10 is clubs or other special interest groups. So I recommend Meetup as one of those ways that you can get involved. It could be your church, the library. There's online different groups for, creativity. Maybe you're in a quilting circle or a writing club or a book club, or, something like that. So there's lots of different things that you might have interest in, but getting involved in that way. I mean, yes, there is networking involved, and maybe somebody would buy from you from that relationship, but it's more about, again, that support and different interests, having a variety of people that you can connect with. So those are 10 different things that you can do. I'm sure you can come up with more, but those are things that have helped me to be successful, so that I feel supported, because that's one of the biggest challenges, I think, that people who are going into business that are, considered solopreneurs, we tend to think of having independence, doing it ourselves. Oh, it's my business, it's going alone, solo. And really, it's very, very difficult to do it on your own. I don't think you can do it on your own. I think you really do need to have support and connection, and, find ways to help each other. You can do trade and barter and, things like that. And so that can help you to, having people who are guest speakers, that are also trying to work on their business. There's so many different ways you can collaborate, and it's really important to have that connection, the support, and that collaboration. So I hope this helps you to feel supported as you're growing your business.